Good morning, boys and girls. Today you're going to take a little quiz on the distributive property. I hope you got to sleep in this morning. I know it's both of our days off, but I really want to take an opportunity for you to continue your learning. And today with the distributive property, what we're going to focus on is simplifying an expression as well as combining like terms. I'm going to give you a brief little tutorial. Please sit back, watch, and you can look at this while you're working on your quiz. And your quiz will be a PDF file that you can print out, or you can just look at the screen and copy down the 3 problems. But please bring this in Thursday, no later than Friday. Thank you very much. And let's work on that tutorial right now. Class, let's take a look at this sample problem. I'm going to walk you through this, and if you follow the steps that I show you on this sample problem, this should help you get through any of the problems that you see on the take-home quiz. Okay, let's start out. First of all, we need to look at this algebraic expression. We have 2a times the sum of 3a plus 7 plus 5z, the complete sum of all of this. Well, we need to ask ourselves right off the bat, what are we going to be distributing? Well, we already asked ourselves the question, is there any like terms that I can combine inside the parentheses? And the answer is no. 3a and 7 I can't add because there's a variable here and I don't know what that is. 3a and 5z, I can't add that because, yeah, there's a variable with both of them, but they're different variables. So I can't combine them either. So let's begin simplifying this expression by distributing this term right here, 2a. We have to distribute this term to all of the terms on the inside of the parentheses. And how do we distribute? We distribute through multiplication. So let's begin. First step is 2a times the first term. Okay, we have 2a times 3a, and that is going to be 6a squared. Now some of you are saying, how can that be? Okay, well let's break this down. We have 2a times 3a. Let's rewrite this. Let's ask ourselves, what does 2a mean? Well, 2a means 2 times a. Times, and then 3a means what? 3 times a. Well, we know that we're multiplying all of this together. So I can multiply a 2 and a 3 together, and that's going to give me a 6, but I still have an a times a. We can't just throw one of these a's away. We still have 2 a's that we need to multiply by each other. And we all know, we just had a lesson not too long ago on exponents. We can represent a times a as a to the second power. So now we have 6 times a to the second power. That's how we got that term right there. But we're not done. We still have to keep on distributing 2a to the rest of these terms. Well, let's bring down our plus sign. We have 2 times 7. And what will that give us? 2a times 7. That will give us 14a. And if we go over here and take a look at that again, we have 2a times 7, which is the same thing as 2 times a times 7. I can combine these two terms. I get 2 times 7 is 14 times a. That's all I can do. So that's how I got 14a. We have one more term to work on. We've got this one over here. 2a times 5z. Now this is interesting. Oh, and don't forget to bring down this plus sign, or operator. We have 2a times 5z. Okay, what do you think that's going to be? It's going to be 10 a z. Now how is that? Well, let's look at it over here again. 2a times 5z. What does this expression mean? Well, 2a means 2 times a, and then we're multiplying that by 5z. What does 5z mean? It means 5 times z. We don't know what these variables are, and we don't have to. I know some of you, you've been so trained that you want to just know what the answer is. That's not the purpose of this exercise. We'll do that later. You got to be okay with having variables, these unknowns. But what we can do is we can simplify it. We can combine these like terms, and that gives us 2 times 5, which is 10. And then we have times a z. When we combine az, we really don't know what a or z is, but we know it's az. So that's how we get az, and we can't simplify this any further. When we look at this, we're pretty much done. Now I just want to show you something though. Sometimes you will be able to combine like terms. For example, if you had 2a times, let's say, 3 plus 5. And you might have problems like this from time to time. Now, some of you are just going to follow the order of operations and add 3 plus 5, and you'll get 8, and then you'll do, and that's fine, and then you get 2a times 8 is 16a, and that's correct. But let's just watch what happens here. Sometimes you'll have a problem like this. You combine this, and you get 2a times 3, that's 6a. And then you do 2a times 5, and that will give you 10a. Do we have like terms we can combine? Yes. We've got 6a here and 10a there. That gives us 16a. Okay. But this will be the most common thing. You're going to see, when you see a variable, the same variable being multiplied by each other, don't forget that becomes that variable to the second power. And if you get a variable multiplied by a different variable, then you just express it this way. You have the two variables put side by side like that. Well, I want you now to work on your quiz. It's a PDF file. It'll say quiz. Just click on that when you go back to the homework page. Okay. Have a wonderful quiz. Bye.